Hey everybody, it's Erin from Erin Remakes, and welcome to the next edition of the Crafter's View. Today is all about card making, and I have an amazing group of card makers here with me today, as you can see. So I would like to introduce each one of them, and we're going to go down the line. We're going to go like the Brady Bunch around the corner. So Brandi, take it away.
Hello, everybody. This is Brandi Mahon from Stamp Me Some Love. I blog over there about card making. I'm also the host of the Card Maker Success Summit, which will be taking place this July. And yeah, so I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much, Erin.
You're welcome. Beth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Beth from the Kingston home. And also in August, I launched my own brand, Kingston Crafts, where we just released a card making kit not too long ago. So I feel like I have thoughts, which I'm very excited to be here. Erin and I have known each other 1,000 years, so I'm excited to be hanging out with everybody tonight.
Lynda.
Hi, I'm Lynda Kanase, and I am the creative and founder of iCrafter. We're a manufacturer of dies and stamps, and so that's where I come into the card making side from the back end of like what people like making and using. So that's my background in there. Plus, I'm a crafter, lifelong crafter. And
I think we all love crafting.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here too. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And Cindy.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here with you, with all of you guys. I am the owner and designer of Dare to Be Artsy, Stamps, Dies, and Papers. So I love all kinds of crafting, and so it's just fun to be here, and I love to interact with the customers and fellow crafters. So thanks for having me join you guys.
Yeah, I love it. It's like a little group. And we have Wendy.
Hi, I'm Wendy Vecchi. I'm signature designer for Ranger and Stampers Anonymous. I love inks, I love stamps, I love to make art. I love to teach, but COVID put the kibosh to that, but that's what I love.
Very cool. And last we have Kim, but not least.
I'm Kim Evans with Emerald Creek Craft Supplies. I manufacture embossing powders, rubber stamps, new lines of watercolors. What else do I make? If you name it, I've probably got my hand in the making of it. So cool. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Started out with cards, wrapping paper when I was like 6. So I've been at this a while, and I'm just so excited. I feel like I'm seeing everyone say hello, and my face as everyone introduced themselves was like grinning so big because I'm so excited to see everybody and to meet people and to talk.
It's fun. Yeah, and thank you so much for everybody who has joined in. If you would like to share this, we are live on YouTube and also on Facebook. We'd love for you to share for more people to get to watch this kind of cool live interactive panel card making thingy that we've got going on here. It'd be absolutely wonderful if you'd share this, because we also have a giveaway going on, which is going to lead into the first question I'm going to ask our panel. So we have a number of giveaways from some of the amazing companies that we have sitting here with us. Wonderful, wonderful companies. So I'm going to put up the little logo real fast in case you didn't know which companies are here. So we have Emerald Creek, iCrafter, Kingston Crafts, Erin Makes, Dare to Be Artsy, Card Maker Success Summit, and Ranger. So thank you so much to all the amazing companies, of which you guys are mostly sitting here. Half of you own, actually most of you own the companies that you're with or the brands and the products that you create. And kudos and hats off to you guys for making such a spectacular business, women business owned companies. I mean, I think that just says big hats off to you guys, because that is a milestone and success all within itself. So yay for women owned businesses. That is a truly wonderful thing. So if you would like to have a chance to win, we have some prizes we're going to be pulling from live from this show. So share, that way more people get a chance to win some awesome prizes. And also we'll be doing some prizes after the show has aired, and I'll be announcing that later on this week. I'll put the information down in the information section of the 2 videos after we are done. I'll probably announce it. Let's go with Sunday. There we go. Let's go with Sunday. So I'll announce it on Sunday. No, wait. Yeah, today's Friday, right? Am I off? It's Friday. Right?
All day.
It all blurs together after a while, doesn't it? Just kind of blurs. So I'll announce it Sunday, both live on YouTube and Facebook, so we can announce the winners for the prizes that are after. So share, and you have a chance to comment. So the question is, and panel, this is for you as well. What is your favorite card making technique? Your favorite card making technique. I'll go first. And you probably, if anybody's ever watched any of my videos, I love doing interactive cards. So anything that has some sort of interactive ability on the card, whether it lights up, it's got a fun fold, it's got a shaker element, you pull something and it wiggles, you wobble it, anything that makes the card a little bit more fun when you open it and play with it. That's what my favorite techniques are. So anything that makes it interactive. So we're going to go backwards this time. We're going to start with Kim. And yes, you can plug your own products to make it, you know, totally fine. I'm not going to hold bar on that one. So we'll go back around the other direction this time if we're watching, like in the little Brady Bunch we got here. And so we'll start with Kim.
Hang on.
She's got to
I
think.
opened up the option to, why? Hang on. You keep coming up in the back end and you're talking away out of sync because I had the Facebook open so I could talk to my people at the same time. And so I was trying to like mute it and I would double click and then it would come back on. So I was hearing Erin double. Okay, my favorite.
That's probably a little too much of me, I think.
It was a little too much,
Too
Erin.
much
I love
double
you,
of
but-
Erin. It's like kind of crazy, Erin. Yeah, no.
And of course you said me first and I was like freaking out. Anyway, I'm going to go with no surprise here, but add embossing powder on almost everything. I know, shocker, because I have 170 different colors.
Wow.
You know, I got a lot to choose from.
Wow.
And so there's almost always something I can use.
Wow.
So, yeah, always to add if I need that little pop-up or whatever, or that piece of chipboard, I usually will emboss it or die cut. So embossing powder really does make it just about everywhere, including like in my teeth and in my hair and in my shirt.
I can't imagine eating it. That's
right?
just, ugh.
Yeah, I only say that because I came in and showered and brushed my teeth because I was making up a big batch of stuff today, and I'm like, I was so gritty. I'm like, oh no, not happening.
Wendy?
So, yeah.
Oh, are you good? You good? I don't want to cut
I'm
you off.
done.
Right? Oh, you're done. Okay. She's like, I'm good. I'm done.
That's
okay.
hard.
Wendy, what is your favorite
Okay.
technique?
All right, I have two, but I'll have to choose.
You can
Probably
name them
perfect
both. It's
card.
okay. I named like 6, so it's all good.
Perfect card adhesive resist. So when I design a product, I always think like, okay, what else can we do with this? So my perfect card adhesive is really good adhesive, but you can also stamp with it or stencil with it, and it makes a fabulous resist because it is not sticky. It kind of looks like embossing, but it has no shine. It's really, really fun. So I'm gonna say that.
I need it. I need to get it in the shop. I've watched
good.
you use it, and I'm like, yes. And I always leave
It's good.
and then forget that I need that.
Yeah, it's really good. I hate to brag, but it's good.
So what was the other one? Now I'm just dying to know because
Oh, that's
you
gonna
dropped that little nugget there, and I'm just like,
well, yeah, the other one is, like I said, I always want to use things in a different way. So like archival re-inkers, you know, you could re-ink your pad. Okay, big deal, we know that. But what else can you do with them? If you mix them with rubbing alcohol, you can dip your cardstock in there, completely saturate it. And because you're using alcohol, it never harms any cardstock, no matter how cheap or ugly it is. It doesn't matter, and it is a really, really, really cool technique.
Fun.
So you know, if you do that with water, your cardstock can be ruined instantly, right? Bubble. This does nothing to it. It's really, really cool.
Interesting.
very cool.
So I'm going to say,
Cindy?
so there's 2.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, those are awesome ones. Those are ones that I don't even do that often. So I love that everybody's got like their little thing. So I'm just dying to see what everybody else is coming up with. So Cindy?
Well, I'm kind of with Erin, anything that's interactive or just the fun folds, just even the simple ones, you could just tweak something a little bit different, and all of a sudden you've got this fun fold and stuff. And then with the whole, everybody's doing the slimline cards, and so we've got a lot of great slimline die borders and background dies and stuff. So I've really kind of gotten hooked on the whole slimline cards and stuff. So, and then when they do something different, that's double whammy.
That's cool. Lynda, what's your favorite technique?
Well, I'm sounding redundant, but interactive cards. I am just so fascinated with designing things that do something different and then kind of tweaking it into making it something that people can use it in different ways. So like I love tunnel cards, but you can use bits and pieces to make shaker cards with them, flatter shaker cards. So it's kind of, I guess my card, doing interactive things that can do more than one thing. So you could take the same elements and use it in a whole bunch of different ways. So, and then technique wise, mostly it's like inking and that kind of thing. But I love when they just pop up and move and shake. So that's my favorite.
Seems like that seems to be a big trend. I was going to ask what's a trendy thing. We might be hitting the button on this one. We'll come back to that. Maybe not. Beth, what do you got?
So it's going to be my favorite because I'm waiting on a box of it to arrive. But layered stencils are. I took watched a class maybe 2 weeks ago on layered stencils, and everyone went crazy for it. And I was like, I need to get in on this action and give this a try. So I am currently impatiently waiting for a box. But the projects I've seen are amazing, and stencils is something that's been around a long time. But the layering is something I haven't thought about and hadn't worked with that much. So I'm excited to give that a whack. It'll probably be my favorite shortly.
I know for sure I have sat on a couple of classes of Wendy's, and she is like one of the stencil queens. Like she does her blending and like the what you can do with stenciling and a little bit of ink and a little tiny blender tool. Just
amazing.
It goes from paper to art within 2 seconds. So I love it.
They're inexpensive. Yep. They're inexpensive. They're a great tool.
Totally. And then Brandi.
Well, I was just going to say that Beth must be reading my mind, because stencils are probably my favorite thing to use. And I really like using different mediums with the stencils, whether that is just simple ink blending or, using embossing paste or any of those types of heavier mediums. I also love making my own stencils with my silhouette machine. So it's always fun to kind of create those different repeating patterns and whatnot. And then I love being able to give them away to my readers. So that's a lot of fun.
That's so cool. I love how we almost all touched on the exact same thing in one way. Like there was lots of repeated factors. I wonder if these are trends, like I said earlier. I wonder. So, okay. I'm just curious, how many people got something to drink? Because I know I do. Who is partaking of the evening? So all of you. I love that.
I'm boring.
Yeah, don't be boring.
Can I go back and answer Cheryl's question? Because I saw her ask a question about the process of watercolor using stamps with embossing ink techniques. Does anyone have tips or tricks? For me, mine on stamps is I'll take my watercolors and I'll actually just paint it on thicker, not quite as watered down, and then stamp it on the watercolor paper and use a bit of water brush and pull the color through. But anybody have another technique that they do to answer Cheryl?
I think I'll probably do the same as you. I usually do like a resist technique and then go in between and use my watercolor. I don't think I've ever done like using watercolor on the stamp itself and then stamping, because usually I like a crisper stamp, but I know people have done that.
That's what I mean. I paint the stamp itself and then stamp it on the paper.
Oh,
that works well for at least for me when it's a solid image.
Yeah.
The more the detail the stamp is, a little harder to. It kind of looks messy. But if it's more of a solid image, watercoloring on it and then stamping the image, I think kind of gives it a whimsy feel.
Anybody else got anything to add to that? Chime in?
How about embossing ink techniques? Anyone done any embossing ink techniques? I use it a lot. I use it with a paintbrush. I almost never use a pad anymore. I will just pour it down and just pick it up with a brush and paint onto my stamps and stuff. But as far as doing, The one thing I do with my embossing ink is, okay, this sounds, Ranger had a line, perfect pearls or something, the micas. So when you stamp with the embossing ink and then you pick up your mica, that's another very popular technique that's kind of old school. So that might help, Cheryl, if you're looking for things to do. And with the Rage and mica right now, there's lots to choose from.
I just did I was looking to see if I had it nearby, but I don't. I've taken the embossing ink pad and taken the corner of an image and set like this little circle or something, and I roll it in the ink pad and then roll it in my powder, and so you create this neat, gold rim around an embellishment or something. So just roll it in the ink pad and then roll it in the powder and heat it. It's kind of a cool way to make that rim.
Or use the stencil, to the point.
Yes.
With the embossing ink pad on there, and then really get into those edges, and then pull that stencil off, and then brush your powder on it, and then heat set it.
So do you put the embossing? Wait, where do you put the ink, on the stencil or in the holes of the stencil?
I put the paper down, I put the stencil on top, and then I sort of mash the embossing ink, the clear embossing ink, into it's not going to be an exact crisp. It's going to be more of a distressed look, but just getting it into those areas. And I think it works better on a repeating pattern, because after a while you kind of realize what that pattern is. And then you pull the stencil off, and then you brush or drop the embossing powder over it, and then heat set that.
And that's another great time to use a paintbrush. I'm going to advocate for paintbrushes, because then you can get in and highlight certain doodles, because I know a lot of us do some mixed media technique where we pick out pieces of our stencil. That brush can also help you get clean pieces out of the stencil with your embossing ink, and then mica, or you can even use the ink, what are they called? Infusions, and everyone's got just the ink that they would pick up with their brush to paint and stuff, the stains. Paper Artsy had infusions. Anyway, you can do that and put those over top too, and when you have embossing ink, it will highlight that color as well. All right, keep going.
I'm talking like I didn't have my mute on, and I totally had my mute because my dog saw somebody at the front door like, rah, rah, rah. I'm like, mute. Yeah, totally happened. So, and then I'm like talking away as if my mute's not on. Awesome. Another person brought up with watercolors. I love this. They said something about using it with gel plates. So you can definitely play around with your gel plates, your watercolors, and your stamps. So it's a great way to kind of get your products out there a little bit differently and play with your stuff. And that's another awesome one out there. Great idea. Great idea. Okay, so we've been talking about favorite techniques, and if you just joined us and you haven't had a chance to leave a comment, we are picking live winners, which we'll be announcing at the end of the show, so stay tuned so you know who you are. So make sure you leave a comment of your favorite technique. We've just gone through and announced, and if you're watching this a little bit later, go back and watch the replay. Totally fine. And you can also leave a comment after the fact to win a prize, because there is going to be a prize picked from the replay people that leave comments, and also if you left a comment along the way as well. So yay. And ask questions. We'd love to have questions. You've got a whole panel of people who've been card making for a number of years and crafting for a number of years. We're here at your pleasure, for a better lack of terms. There's a better way of saying that. I don't know if pleasure was the right way to go. We're here to help answer questions. There we go. Let's just leave it at that.
Pleasure.
So another fun.
It's lonely. It's COVID.
So another thing is that we tend to, I feel like the barriers are starting to come down when, if we're talking about needlepoint, that only needed to be needlepoint. If it was mixed media or paints, it only had to be for those things. For card making, it had to be stamps only. But I feel like nowadays with people that they're home, see, there goes the dog. He's having like anxiety attack because somebody walked out the door. Do you feel that maybe not as a trend, but I've seen more and more people taking whatever products they have and using it for card making, or it could have been a card making tool, use or product on other projects as well. So what product do you see, or maybe it's a number of products, do you see that are kind of transitioning over into card making more than traditionally it used to be? Because it used to just be ink, stamps, coloring. ink, stamps, coloring for the most part. You know, stenciling has gotten
Definitely
to be a very
die
big mainstay.
Die cuts.
Die cuts. Yeah.
And
But
adding
also-
with
Definitely
Okay.
huge.
I have been noticing lately that some of the brands are coming out with the die cuts that have the little hole perforations for you to do something with the, like the DMC thread and stitching, either cross stitching or kind of making it look like an embroidery look. And I for the life of me, I can't remember what brand it is right now, but it's got this large thanks. I can see it in my head. It's a slimline card. And then I've seen several designers post examples of it. It's got thanks and it's got all these flowers around it where they've got the holes that you can kind of thread through it.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the company.
Yeah, I don't
Those
remember
people
either.
watching, chime in.
Yeah,
Let us
definitely. And it's beautiful because I think to myself that, I don't know, I used to be a cross stitcher and I used to love going into the craft store and just standing there in front of all of the thread and all of the different pretty colors, you know. And I've not tried it myself because I'm a little bit anxious about it for some reason. Like I'm afraid it's going to bend the paper when I do it because I used to be pretty tight stitched when I did cross stitching. But I think it's so pretty, and the options of being able to match your inks or your cardstocks to a color of thread is pretty. I mean, it's you know, lots of colors are available there, so I could see how it could be a really nice added embellishment or a touch to your card.
Can I add something here, because
They're saying it's spellbinders. So there's been multiple comments that it's been spellbinders. So there you go. All right, Lynda, what you got?
Yeah, I just want to add, because like I've heard that trend also. So I've designed like a die set that is slimline length, and it creates rows of little dots so that you can cross stitch in it. I don't have a sample out right now, but it is exactly what you're saying, that you could stitch in there. And then I have also, I don't know if you can see that either. Oh, taking, you know, the rainbows. Oops. Yeah, the wrapped rainbows, and taking it and making it flatter so that you can nail it. And I also did a 3-dimensional one that's hanging. So it is a big trend of taking or crossing needle arts together with die cutting and paper crafting, which
how heavy does that paper need to be so it doesn't bend?
You know, for this I use like the 216 GSM. So it's like the typical Nina cardstock, the heavier cardstock.
110 pound, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so that's on the inside of this. You know, if you wrap too tight, it will bend, but it's also, just saying, same with the cross stitch part is also, you know, just using it gently. And mine comes out about a little, like an 1.25 inch strip that you can cross stitch across and do some pattern. And I know one of the problems is, like, a lot of people who don't know about how to do any needle arts, having this blank canvas in front of them is intimidating, but it also is freeing. Like you were saying, you could mix the colors to match a cardstock. So that's, I'm surprised everyone mentioned that. It's like, hey,
I'm glad you said that, Lynda, because I was just thinking to myself, I still carry around over 40 years worth of cross-stitching supplies that I don't know, I just can't get rid of. And I'm thinking about all these little designs that I already have in my stash, and it tells you which DMC thread to use if because usually they include thread with the project. But I could totally use your die and copy the design from 20, 30 years ago that I did and make it a card.
Yes.
I think I saw Leslie mention, this is the part that scares me. I'm good to hand stitch on something, but she uses her machine, and that's the one that terrifies me, because I can sew a straight line on a curtain, but I would be so afraid that it would be too tight and I'd rip through, or I'd go too fast and I'd rip through. That one makes me nervous, and I think those things are so beautiful, and I will just always love them from a distance.
It is just paper, so you can just dare to be artsy and
Practice.
do it on paper,
Right?
and if it messes up, you just try it again. So
Yep.
I wonder if that's where the brand name came from.
It's a great name.
Cassie, I will do a page. Cassie just told me to try it. I will do a strip when I pull out the sewing machine to fix all of our masks and adjust them to be longer for my growing kids. I will then try some paper and I will post it on the site. If I did it, I'll put it up on Instagram that I sewed a piece of paper on the machine. Bad or good, whatever comes out, and probably bad.
Kind of like double duty here. If you guys see me like looking frantic on the side, it's because I'm still like I'm getting things prepped for the next stuff. So don't mind the person not staring off. But Beth, I think you had one that you were trying to do. Yeah.
From Beth about from another Beth, who is also fabulous, probably about vellum and adhesive. Beth, have you ever tried a Xyron machine? Because that will change your life when it comes to vellum.
yeah.
You can buy them in like teeny tiny. That's how Erin and I met each other. You can buy them in teeny tiny, like 1.5 inch sizes. You can buy them up to 9 inch, but they are life changing when it comes to vellum because you can't see. You run the whole thing through, whether it's a die cut or a square or a circle. Run it through, and it is full coverage, and it becomes a sticker, so you can't see the adhesive on the back. So
No, I was like,
there is your answer.
mine's right behind me, I think.
How many people can like grab a crafty tool at their beck and hand right when you're like answering questions? I love it. It's like chunk. That's what we do. I mean, like I'm sitting in my craft room. I know not everybody is sitting in their craft room. Okay, so Beth, you have to tell a story. Why are you not sitting in front of your craft room, and why do we see a bunch of like military paraphernalia behind you?
I'm in my husband's office. My studio. So I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning. My day job is I'm the craft expert on the Home Shopping Network. So we've been filming live national television from our basement since March of last year.
Wow.
And we've been trying to renovate my studio, and we have a 3-week break between airings. And so my basement is completely torn up at this moment. And I was telling Erin, I have nowhere to go because our Navy kids are here also. So I had a meeting last week where I did it from my bedroom, and the person on the call was like, are you in your bedroom? And I was like, there's things happening here.
No judgment.
So, yes, no judgment. So I'm in my office, my husband's office with his Army stuff, because I have no home currently. No studio.
Oh. Well, I love it because we were commenting earlier that Wendy's in her kitchen, and it's a beautiful.
I swore it was
kitchen.
her studio. Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, too, like it looks just like her studio, and I'm like, I keep looking down because and I love the amount of blue in there. That is
Yeah, it's amazing.
Lots of stuff to dust.
Oh.
Not good.
Well, you just burst that bubble.
Dust is a 4-letter word.
And how often do you actually get to dusting it? Because I would be really bad at that.
No, not a good thing.
She refuses to answer.
She's not going to answer. It's not gonna And then I'm just seeing like Cindy, it looks like the bee is about to like, sting her head in the background. I love that.
So funny story. So I have a 2-year-old and a 2.5 and a 1-year-old grandbabies, my first grandbabies, but they're in Utah. So every morning my daughter calls me, and we do, thank goodness for FaceTime, right? Well, Camden, the 2-year-old was having a huge meltdown. So my daughter calls me and going, Mom, what do I do? So I'm like, all right, just get Camden over here. And I was like, now Camden, I'm looking for a bee. Do you see a bee? And I'm like, oh my gosh, and so now every time Camden calls, he's like, Nana, bee go. Where'd the bee go? I'm like, okay. Now I'm like, okay. My daughter's like, Mom, you're gonna have to do a YouTube channel with like little animals,
Where's the bee?
and puppets, and start the whole thing. But now every time my grandson calls, it's like, where'd the bee go? Or the bear, or the Nomi, all my little things here. So that was my bee.
That's cool. I love that. And Lynda, you're in your office right now? Looks like you're in a studio office?
Home.
She froze. There she is. Okay, home.
yeah, this is home. The office is too stark right now. It's too much of business part. This is home so I could be near my puppy and take care of her. But yeah, this is just one end of my house. And I actually have my real work studio over on the other side, but the lighting is horrible. So this gets to be where I do all the talking face things like, hey, yeah. So, and it's comfortable and it's brighter, much brighter. So.
Yeah, lighting is half the battle, I swear. We always have to figure out like the best ring light that goes on there. I can always tell who's got the ring lights because they're like in their eyes. You can see they have like that extra little ring. I'm like, ooh, I know you got fancy lighting in your house.
It's funny.
I know Brandi tied it. It's true. And Brandi totally takes the cake.
My weird thing is during this time right now, the sun comes in through like a window above my door and it hits my table. So now I have black paper down here when I'm doing these because otherwise I just burn out looking. Yeah. So little things you have to do.
I struggle all the time with my hair and light from above on video. It always kind of, there's a hot spot right there. And so right now I'm in my craft room with all the lights out. And the only light I have on me is the monitor. And then I've got a ring light behind the monitor because just the ring light would be way too much. But I discovered yesterday, and I've been getting ready for the summit that I'm hosting. And I know that webcam is not going to, cut it. I've got to upgrade my game, right? And so I finally figured out how to connect my DSLR to the computer and stream that way. And surprisingly enough, I didn't have all of the white glare I have on the top of my head when I use the DSLR. So that is my next job, is to get that all set up. So when I do things like this, I'm not in a dark room, with my little blue background or whatnot. So I don't look like I'm in a little hole, a little cave. But yeah, lighting is always an issue.
You're looking like the floating head because you got the black shirt on and your background is like totally black. And so she looks like the random little ghost head like floating, and then her little arm comes up and it's like.
Well, I was getting ready for this and I went to the closet to change because I had, some sloppy clothes on before, and my wife takes one look at the blouse and she says, "Oh my God, you need to iron that." And I said, "Nobody's going to be able to see it." So you guys can't even tell that I've got wrinkles.
You look like a little floating head.
Oh, it's cool. Actually a nice effect.
It's a very cool effect.
It is nice.
Like, how can I achieve that? Because it looks very professional. Like, I'm all red and, she's very polished looking over there in her little screen. It's awesome. And Kim, you had to move. You started off in the studio, but then you had to move into the house.
Yeah. So I burst out laughing because I am in my bedroom. And I had to make sure I shut the curtain, because that's bathroom through the fireplace, so you can see into my bathroom, into the ensuite. And I had to move all the blankets and turn this, because this is like a really nice posh leather chair that we cover with a blanket for my dog to sleep on. And so I'm like ripping it off and throwing everything that way. And then I sat down and the lighting's so terrible in here. So I went and threw open the curtains so I wasn't quite as weirdly lit, because I had like this halo that went down my face. "Oh, hi dog, you're not supposed to be in here." She did. She just popped in.
Okay, be careful where you're showing the screen. We don't want to see any unmentionables in the background here.
Anyway, so I never am, but a few weeks ago we did Creativation Plus, and Brandi and Erin were privy to the many backgrounds of Kim, because the technology in the shop has been so spotty, and the more we get pushed inside, because we're going through the third wave, so lots more people are at home using their tech, and it's killing my shop right now. And so I bailed. I couldn't seem to get it to not crackle and to be not glitchy, so I came inside where I have like an 80 bytes per second upload instead of out there where it was giving me 17. And so I just ditched it and came in here thinking, oh, I can kind of fake it. And now here I am telling you exactly where I am. So much for worrying about faking.
I think half of the fun is when you take away like the glitz and the glamour of what we do. Because I mean, people see our companies, they see us on screen. But I don't know about you guys, but I always got the biggest kick out of seeing whenever people are doing their interviews, they're in their kitchen, they're in their wherever. And this is like on the regular daytime talk shows. It's almost like it's a little more realistic now. Like we get to really see, oh yeah, so-and-so is just like me and just like that. I mean, that's the best part. Like we're all human. We're all going through this together. None of us are super people. And, you know, kind of break down that wall and realize we're all in this together and we're all here and we're all doing what we can. So,
right.
You know, the human side of it all.
My husband needs me to go back to work.
So get out.
out of here. Work out of this house.
Yeah, I've been working out of my house from before, so he can leave. I can stay. So with the whole advent of COVID and everything that's been going on, like I was just saying, I was already working from home. This was what I was doing. I've kind of amped up what I've been doing. Have any of you changed? I know, Beth, you've changed quite a bit in terms of how you've been functioning, but and Wendy, you too, because you used to go teach classes. I'm sure everybody, I just am hitting two people off the top of my head there. But how does everybody else kind of rolled with the punches? And the key word for right now is pivot, you know, and all I can think of is the couch on Friends and pivot, you know. So how have all of you handled everything that's been going on? And has it been better? Has it been worse? Or is it just different? And what suggestions do you have for those that are watching to maybe improve upon what they're doing to help them if they're a new business owner or something along those lines to help them? What you got? Who wants to go first? Raise your hand.
Well, for me, I'm going to say the traveling. I knew I loved it. I knew I'd love to teach in person, but I didn't even really realize how much I really, really, really love it. It's just so awesome to be with people who understand what you do. You know, I have friends here who are like, you know, I can go to the store and buy a card. Why do you spend so much time doing that? So when you spend a weekend with somebody who really, really gets it, you know, or someone comes in and is like, I'm no good, but I just came to take the class because she said I should, my neighbor, you know, and then they leave with projects that are you know, that they're thrilled with. It's just so, so, so nice. And I really miss that a lot in COVID. I miss it a lot. That's really hard. I missed Creativation a lot. You know, and I knew I would, but I think it was even, I felt maybe I felt lonely. I don't know. It was just really, really funny not to see the people that you get to see once a year. That was hard. I hate COVID.
That's why I started this. You catching on? I mean, I figured we were all seeing each other so much when we went to the trade shows, or we bump into each other, or we'd be, you know, whatever. And it was just this lack. And I was like, you know what? We've got to have a way. And so that's where this idea was born. So thank you all for joining me on the show. I truly appreciate it. You filled my need to communicate with people other than my children. Not that I don't love my kids, but I need adults. You know, I think we're both feeling that. Right. But Beth, you had one too, right?
Yeah, well, I from a work perspective, so I don't think I'm telling any stories out of turn. HSN had probably their best year ever as far as craft sales go, because so many people were at home. Nobody was getting out to the craft stores. Craft stores and businesses that had an online presence or pivoted to grow their online presence quickly all did well. That would be my new advice for new companies starting out, or new, and I hate this word, that I could have a whole thing about this, influencers, people who want to sort of put their name out there as artists or folks in the craft industry. You need to embrace technology, because this is where it's at. Nobody's ever gonna, I mean, I teach in person too, and Wendy, I feel you, because I'm an extrovert and I need I need the people, but people are still going to, when it gets cold outside, when the weather is bad, people are still going to look to the internet. People who are still in lockdown or don't feel quite safe going out. So embrace the technology. I am not a technology person by any stretch, but we were talking about this before we went live. I do Facebook Lives once a month. I do them for my clients. The viewership has quadrupled probably during quarantine and doesn't show any signs of changing. So that would be my big piece of advice for anyone who wants to get in this as either as a business or as a artist who wants to get their work out there, you have to embrace the technology, as scary as it is. Because I don't TikTok, like those things, I feel so old and don't understand, but that's where it's at these days.
This whole on-camera thing is very scary. I mean, I was the one in high school and speech class that people were like, oh, I feel so sorry for her because she's shaking and she's like public speaking. I was like, oh my gosh. I love teaching classes, but it's different in a smaller setting.
Sure.
And the, Wendy mentioned the creativation on Erin too. I miss the one-on-one stuff. So meeting. We
lost our leader.
I know we did. The store owners, the meeting the other, at Creativation, you're meeting the store owners, which is awesome in person, but also the meeting the other company owners and just that interaction. It's such a rich place of inspiration. And then we used to do, we had like 10 trade shows, direct to consumer trade shows a year. We got our first one in before COVID, and then everything shut down and we're like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? Because we didn't have, we sell to stores and we had some online, but we also counted kind of on those trade shows. So luckily a couple of those companies started doing the virtual trade shows, and our online sales. So we lost these sales, but our online presence, it just flipped. I mean, it just, so exciting that we survived because of all of this.
Yeah.
But it just changed. It really changed.
Yeah. I was just looking at the comments. Creative Art Spark, this is actually a great point, which I hadn't thought of. She said the neat about online learning is that there is so much available that I never would have encountered without internet. So to Wendy's point, I don't think when classes open back up, I don't think someone's going to not come to one of my classes because they can see me online. But people who, you can only be so many places in a calendar year. So the people that can't get to you now know that you're online, and it actually increases your business or your viewership and helps you reach more people, which I think is amazing. That's a great point.
It does, but it's not the same. It does, but it's not the same.
You're right. Yeah. But for people too.
I don't know. In a live. That's okay. I would say in a live classroom, yes, I teach the class and everybody makes the same project. But the thing for me was I supplied every single ink color, every single stamp, stencil, so that we did the technique. They put their twist on it. So for me, in store is like, okay, they see what I did, but then they also see 40 other versions. And to me, that was just so nice. That's the part I guess I miss.
I totally get where you guys are coming from. I'm actually more of an introvert, and so before COVID hit, I had just a very small class that I would teach in my own home from back in my Stampin' Up demonstrator days. I had these little house parties or whatnot, and after I'd stepped down from Stampin' Up, I decided I was going to have this really awesome concept idea. I'm going to teach online crafts. And then 2 months later, COVID hit. So, what I thought I was going to be like the rebel, it turns out now everybody's teaching online. But so for me, being in person is very exhausting for me. I don't get the energy like you guys get it from being in person. And so I kind of thrive off of being able to be interacting online and interacting through my live Zoom classes. And so it's been a blessing for me because I'm not sure, first of all, I didn't have the contacts to go out and teach, like some of the bigger names do. So as a smaller brand, it's given me an opportunity to create my own platform and to create my own audience and to bring what I like to do. I mean, I've always been a teacher, but I don't know, I'm just not really big on big crowds. And so it's been helpful to be able to have that this new thing where everybody's doing stuff on Zoom and online and stuff. Our faithful leader is back.
She's back.
I'm so sorry. Our internet in our whole house just went down.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I'm glad the show didn't go down.
No, that's beautiful. Somebody was asking me earlier about StreamYard, about how it functions and how it all works, and do they like it? And I was like, yep, because of this. Oh no, you guys are there. Okay.
Can I add something too about the pivoting and things? The funny thing is that my company launched Creativation last year. So we burst on the scene and a pandemic hits. And it's like, there's nothing quite like that. It's hard to say, hey, we did better or hey, we did worse, because there was no before. So we were born in COVID. But it's, it's one of those things where I guess you couldn't say pivoting, but it's interesting. I have all said, I'm an introvert too, but I love teaching classes. I think it's hilariously fun. But it's one of those things that I miss the people in the little classes, in the fun parts of it. But again, I guess I'm just used to starting this company in COVID, working from home, seeing people out there. So it's a different perspective, I think, from my end of it. So
I would go with you, Lynda, because I rely so heavily on that show going well because I'm such a hands-on product.
Kim, hold on one second. Erin, can you mute your mic? I think you're, we've been trying to message you privately, but.
Sorry. Yes, hang on.
Okay, sorry, Kim, go ahead.
No, that was perfect, Beth, because, yeah.
thanks.
But it was the same. You had just launched on. I had my new releases and I did okay, but I felt at that show, I knew something was off because my internationals who usually order first were slower to order. And then we went through the show and I came home and I was like prepped to the nines to get going and like have everything out in under 4 weeks. And then there was nothing, like none of the after sales, because by the time I got home, everyone's like COVID, and our places were starting to be like, what's happening? And everyone just started watching. So my 2020 wasn't awesome. However, I was really grateful because I didn't realize my personal side of my 2020 was also not going to be awesome. And so a lot of influences were coming through and every time I thought I'd get over a hurdle, I would get kicked with another one. And we had family issues and I broke my foot. I finally thought like Christmas, I'm like, yes, we're going to be done. And I broke my foot on the 20th of December. And it just was like three months I've been down. And it was just, it kept going. Like I felt it fed. But as Beth said, it was the pivot. So I was down. I gave myself 2 weeks to, sorry for saying it this way, but bitch and moan and try and find a positive and smile and get angry and cry. And then I hit the computer and I started picking at all the things that I knew I hadn't had time to deal with in 2020. And that was a lot of SEO and a lot more of the online and fixing my Instagram look and things like that. And so for me, that was huge. And if you're not doing that, as Beth said, especially for you influencers, I know you may do the most beautiful work, but I need you to be able to do the most beautiful work for 10,000 people. You have to be able to reach that volume for me because I don't have time to go and source it out myself. Because if I'm doing that, then I'm not making brand new creative product for you. So I can't do it all. And that's why we're looking for you to also step up your virtual game, because we need that. If you want to be in that game and that class and get paid by us, you need to step up and do that. And I see that, but I also know in the comments, I've seen so many people that I love and that I respect that do phenomenal work and can help us get connected too. So if there's things you want to do or you want to become an influencer, ponder what you're offering and ponder what you have done in the past in your followings, because you might be someone who has something to offer and you just don't know it yet. And you're just sitting there wondering how you get started. Well, just talk to us. Start by talking. We're not scary. We are not the boys here. We will not beat you down.
Well said. Very well said.
And I would say just try it. I mean, just try to get in front of the video. Just try to make, your overhead hand tutorial, whatever you're creating. I go back and look at some of my very first videos and go, oh my God, I can't believe I put that out. But if I didn't do that, I wouldn't improve. And so like right now I'm getting ready for the summit and I know that I've got to up that game. And so now I'm trying to incorporate a little bit, more expensive technology. And now since I've experienced this StreamYard thing, I'm thinking maybe I should, maybe play with that a little bit and stuff. And so, and just not to be afraid to go out there and try stuff and not be afraid of putting your stuff out there.
Can I jump in for 1 second? I saw Lillian Payne. She's going to sleep. So before she says goodnight, because she says it's 1 a.m., I'm going to throw my prize box at her. So I have here.
Oh, yay.
And I will throw this to you. We'll get your information tomorrow. Sleep well, but for coming on so late at night for your time. Just wanted to say thanks.
Awesome.
To Brandi's point about just trying it, I have done this to myself, so I'm not saying this like I know everything. Stop the comparison game. That is a number one. So, and I'm not saying this to name drop. I'm saying this to prove my point. My two probably best friends in this industry are Anna Griffin and Amber Kemp-Gerstel, who owns Damask Love. If I spent all my time comparing myself to them, which I sometimes do, because you want to be like your friends, it used to really get me down because I don't have bajillion-dollar businesses and I don't have my own TV show on Disney Plus and I don't, But, and don't look above you, look, for lack of a better word, behind you or below you or to your peers. Don't look at people who already have it made, already have their own product line, already whatever, and compare yourself to them, because all it does is make you feel like you can't do it. Look at some things on the internet and you will realize you're amazing. Even if you just put yourself like, there is some trash. I could use a bad word. There is some trash on the internet. So do not ever think that you are not good enough or can't try it or are embarrassed for anyone to see something, because trust me when I say there is stuff out there that is sort of a hot mess and you are going to be amazing. Just trying it makes you amazing. That's the cool thing about it. Just like with art or just like with creating anything, just being willing to try it makes you better than 20,000 people who are too scared to try it. So never play the comparison game about whether you're as good as someone or as successful as someone or whatever, because I learned that lesson the hard way.
You don't know the whole story. People, because I'm around the world, people are like, oh my gosh, you're huge. Well, I'm not huge. I'm less than $500,000 company. I don't drive a fancy car. I don't have a fancy house. I just make smart choices every day to try and keep things going every day. You don't compare yourself, because you don't know our whole story. And we like to idolize each other. And that's okay. It's okay to look at the positive and be like, oh, I want that. But if you're putting yourself down thinking about it, that's not the right way to look at it. Stop putting yourself down, people.
Yep.
Stop it.
Yep. Crops for Fun I've seen her ask this a couple times and I missed it the first time. Where should I start, Facebook or YouTube? That's a good question.
I would start wherever you're most familiar with. Whatever you're most comfortable with. If you are someone that is always on Facebook, I would start there. Once you kind of get your game plan going for Facebook and you kind of got a rhythm for it, then venture out to another platform, whether that's YouTube or Instagram. I think.
Where's your biggest following already? Start where your biggest immediate following is, because then you can promote over.
Right, that's what lives you can, I mean, unless you invest in a software like this one, lives you can only do one place, but if you shoot videos, you can put your video on YouTube, put the exact same video on Facebook. So it's not an either or, really. It's
or vice versa. You can do it
or vice
Facebook
versa.
Live, download it, and then upload it to YouTube.
Yep. So you don't necessarily have to pick one or the other. You can just reuse the same content over and over.
Yep.
Just do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, we've like totally veered off card making and into business building, but I think that's good though. Don't you? I feel like it's good.
Well, we all made cards and we all made businesses after we started making
I had no
cards.
idea that one could create a business around card making.
That's right.
Who knew?
And so many people do.
No.
Yes.
So many people do. Yeah.
So I will kind of give you an idea of how many people are out there, and this is just the tip of it. So I know I keep mentioning the summit that I'm doing in July, but I've had to pitch speakers, and I had like 28 slots to fill. And I was meeting with a sponsor earlier yesterday, and he thought it was amazing that I found 28 people. I said, dude, I've pitched over 100.
Mm-hmm.
I had so many no's before I got those 28 yeses, and every day I'm on Facebook and I see another designer, and I'm like going to their Instagram and going to their YouTube and think, okay, well they might be a good speaker for my next summit or something like that. There's so many people out there and so many creative genres and so many different ways to make cards and stuff. I had no idea when I started doing this.
Can you guys hear me again?
We can.
Yes, you sound great.
Okay. Can you see? I am so sorry. Our internet in our house has gone completely out, and then I was trying not to get feedback, so I'm switching to like a whole different headset. So I'm sorry if I look like a giant like goofball over here for the past 10 minutes trying to figure out how to on the fly. But ladies, I've been listening to everything. Kudos. Thank you so much for continuing the ball rolling. You are amazing, and I'm just going to step back and you guys keep going.
Well, this brings up a funny point about Facebook Live. So HSN has started this new Facebook Live every Tuesday after craft shows, and I was they have a seasoned person and then a new person who's like just trying out HSN for the first time or whatever. And the second one I did with the host, her feed cut out 3 minutes into the Facebook Live, and I was supposed to be on for 30 minutes, and then the new person was supposed to be on for 30 minutes, except I couldn't see or interact with anyone, and I had no idea if I was actually on. I did 50 minutes of just rambling by myself about things, and every once in a while I would say, am I still, because we couldn't check, because my husband was filming, and so we couldn't go anywhere to check Facebook to see if we could see ourselves. And I just kept saying, I don't even know if anyone can see me. Am I still on the Facebook? And finally the producer came in my ear and she was like, yes, we can still. But that's the thing though, right? Is that Facebook, I mean, video and Facebook and lives, they are what they are. It's reality. Like, just like Kim and I apparently are doing things from our bedrooms now. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Or
I
your
saw
internet
Lauren,
craps out on you.
Right.
Lauren had said it's tough to get followers specifically on Instagram. And then I saw a bunch more people who agreed with this. It's true. I don't have a huge following, but I do like the following that I have. And I think the biggest thing, and I really learned it since Creativation Plus, today was another great one, is that I'm not even following the people I'm sitting here supposedly admiring in my own flippin' industry. Like, our problem is we forget that we need to like and follow each other, and we need to understand how to use the hashtags and the @. Don't @ me in every single thing because I become numb to it. But when you hashtag, when I go back and look at those and basically go through the filing cabinet and then reshare, that helps you get seen by a different group and a different audience. And so using your hashtags properly and @ing a designer or a maker or a company at the right time can be huge.
Are you going to give us
don't get
a class
discouraged.
on that? Because I could sure use some lessons in that.
Yeah.
We could have a whole separate one of these on hashtags.
Right?
Yeah.
We really could. It's really important. It is so important. And I had to learn it over 4 years in my business because I didn't get it when everyone told me to get on social media. I would hashtag this and I would @ like 10 people. And then I realized what a mess and how gross it was. And so I really learned how to hone it based on business sense of how I would run my business, which was not like that. And so, yeah, so I have more quality friends now because I did it properly later.
All right.
I saw a comment in here I wanted to make sure we didn't miss. And I've lost it already because it went up. Who said she just does this for fun and she doesn't want to do it for business? Let me say to those people, good for you. Don't let anyone tell you you have to make videos, you have to be on Instagram. Don't let anyone tell you that. If you do it for fun, I know so many people who are amazing and were doing it for fun, and everyone told them they needed to get on design teams and be on YouTube, and now they hate it. So if you know that about yourself and are happy where you are, good for you. Like I admire people who get it and just do it because they love it. Don't let any of this convince you need to start your own business.
Design teams are for people who want a job. We are not kind.
Yes.
We are picky. We want you to do it a certain way because we want our stuff to go out there the way that everyone thinks that we're like massively awesome. But that's not what's going on in the background. So don't be misled by design teams or where it's at and be on 10 or 30. Even if you're one designer and you're loved by them. My sister does very well. She's loved by one male designer. She works for him exclusively and she's very good at it. You know, like that's all I'm going to say there. Yeah. Not dropping all of the names, but I'm sure if you Google me, you'll figure her out and go from there. If you pick right, you're going to be fine. Don't make it a job. Don't wreck it. It can be a happy thing or miserable. If I hate my job, you will see a big Emerald Creek for sale. As soon as I hate it, I'm out.
I think
enjoy what you enjoy. Don't let it be a job.
Exactly. Yeah. If you love it, do it. And if it's not something that's just, making your heart full, then do something else, or try it a little bit differently. And it could be as simple as, I like doing video. I really like doing video. I hate blogging. Hate it.
Yes. Oh my God. Amen.
You know what I mean?
Lord. Yes.
So if companies come to me and they're like, can you write a blog post? I'm like, no, I can do a video for you. Oh. And 9 times out of 10, they're like, yes, like we'd rather have that. I'm like, done.
Yeah.
Right? I can do that.
What? Nobody ever says that.
I guess I'm one of those anomalies that likes video over blogging.
I was going to say this week, I just did that exact. Erin's like, I don't do this, but I do videos. I'm like, I don't do videos. Let's work together.
Go with what you love and go with what you're good at. Yeah.
And thank goodness there's people who love all the different things. Makes it a fuller world.
So what do you guys all like better? Do you like video better, or do you like pictures? Like what's your platform? For me, it's YouTube or videos or Facebook's live specifically is what I really like.
Live is for me.
Except for when internet goes down. I hate that. But like some people, I like, Beth, you're a rock star on Instagram. Everybody's got the kind of like their thing that they love to do, but you're also really, really good on camera. Otherwise you wouldn't be on HSN. So what does everybody love to do?
It's lives for me, obviously.
Sing in the shower.
I like the short 10-minute videos on Instagram. I've gotten a lot of comments from people. It's like, I don't have 2 hours to sit there and listen to chit chat or watch you blend the whole bloody card. I want to see the technique, get it concise, and move on. So I think that's really good.
I have to say I agree because I watch all of Wendy's videos. I do. I get caught up because they are quick and they help give me inspiration or at least calm me down if I feel like my mind is too scattered. So if you aren't watching, go watch Wendy's card clips on Instagram. They're awesome.
Thank you.
Also, go check out her set. I'm sorry, I'm going to plug her because she is a very conservative person. She's not going to plug herself very much. But she has a really cool design set that I loved this year that came out with the die, the stamp, the stencil, I believe, in like a 3-pack. Oh my goodness, that was a stroke of genius. Wished I had thought of it. I don't normally get jealous about things, but that was brilliant.
I have a couple of yours.
Yeah, they have been really, really popular. The price point's awesome and the quality is awesome.
Yeah.
They have been really, really fun.
I see a couple people scrolling through here, and I have the same question. Does anybody read blogs anymore?
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. No.
No, I hate it.
Nope.
But do you think people
No, I hate
read
it.
them? Like, why are we still doing it if no one's reading them?
Because Google loves them.
No, you're right.
But don't you think
they?
they also, because people want to put their stuff on Pinterest, so they're feeding from their blog to Pinterest?
Yeah.
But now you can go directly to Pinterest. They started their creator. So, but it's sort of like a home base, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's good to have a place to land your brand.
Yeah.
You know, a place for all of your contact information and, you know.
But I mean, as far as spending like 4 hours writing and photographing a blog post as opposed to 45 minutes of a Facebook Live, I don't want to spend 4 hours writing a blog post.
So
I don't blame you.
I was gonna say, I use my blog. I got rid of like the blogger one where I was like professionally trying to blog, which I hated. And I went over and just put one on my store, but it includes anything. So last year I made a sugar scrub for Mother's Day, and it was from the internet. Someone else had blogged it. So I grabbed that and I pinned over to it. And that was my post for the day, because I thought, you know what, if you're making a card and you want to make a sugar scrub, here you go. There's the picture of a card that I made, and here's a recipe for a sugar scrub. So I do like things like that because I find it's a handy tool, but it's got to be super short because no one's going to flip and read the whole thing.
I'm reading the comments though. People are giving great reasons for why they still read blogs. So this makes me appreciate them more. Measurements, more pictures, links to products, which is a great point.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Except now we link on Instagram and stuff. Like I don't know if you're using the links properly. I just learned how. That's why I say that. So now I will link up my products so people can quick grab. But oh yes,
but
the
they
12
also they're
tag
saying
blogs. Those are really good. Okay, Stephanie, I am gonna let a little bit out of the bag then. If you like the 12 tags, go follow Dig That Crazy Chick, Vicki Evans. No relation, just saying. She does her 13 tags at Halloween. She does a bunch for Christmas. I think you'll find she's really fun because she doesn't work for Tim Holtz either. I didn't say that out loud either. No relation, doesn't work for Tim. But you'll find that because he's not doing the 12 tags right now, that is a really cool way to follow along because she posts it all up there.
Excellent.
But again, she posts as a blog. She posts as a blog?
She does, but it's like a picture blog. She doesn't. She's very concise in her blogging. And she's got her Instagram, Dig TCC. Is that right? Something like that. Dig That Crazy Chick, whatever those initials break down to. Yes, Mel, she was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. I'm married into that. I do not have the same genetic makeup that makes her so freaking fabulous.
So one of the other things that people brought up is that the blogs are getting so heavy, and I guess website for that matter too, but I think more blogs because they're so laden with advertisements. It's hard to find the actual like pieces of nuggets of what the blog is really about. So is that part of maybe what killed them too? Or just I think people like video better, or more people enjoy video because they can just turn it on and watch. I don't know.
I think Kim's right though. A lot of people don't read anymore. It's the same reason newspapers aren't doing that well, because people don't sit and read like they used to.
I like Procrastistamper.
Yep, that one.
Because she does what I do. I go and catch up with all of you while we're doing family movie time because I don't like the kids' 7-year-old TV shows. So she's like, she does blogs because she'll flip through while it's family movie time. And I agree. I think that is the best answer right now because I can totally relate.
I think there's still a good number of people who like to have that written format just to clarify. Plus, if you land on a page that's got the video and it's got the text, the video may be 30 minutes long to show you how to create the card, and they don't know how to scrub through it and figure out exactly that one little thing that they want to learn. And if they can scroll through the blog post to, you know, find that specific step, I think that's helpful. But I think from a perspective of a influencer or a blogger or a designer, I think having a blog as a, like you said, Lynda, a home base to legitimize, make your business look legit.
Yeah.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christina agreed with you. Having the text over video is a lot. And I agree. And I think it's because so many people have gone on to videos, but not professionally. If you're going to do videos, and when I say professionally, I don't mean you have to have perfect lighting when you're starting out and you have to have all the tools. Professionally can just be having the right tone in your voice when you're teaching, being concise in your instruction and how you're flowing things. Because some people will ramble and they will honestly dry a whole project. Just speed that part up. Learn how to speed those up, because people don't want to watch that and they're scrubbing past everything that they don't want to listen to, and they'll miss the good parts.
Somebody asked a question. Yeah. Can Facebook be your homepage? Could that be your blog as your Facebook? So could you run, like, could YouTube be your homebound or whatever it might be, and then everything relates back to that? Or do you really
don't
feel
have
like
your
a blog?
home base be something you don't own?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There you go. You never know what could happen.
Here tomorrow.
Yeah. But not only that, but I think everybody knows that anybody can create a Facebook page with a click of a button. If you take the time to create a, you know, a website that, you know, looks decent, and you've given it thought as far as, you know, what you want it to look like and the color scheme and stuff like that. Excuse me, my father's calling. He obviously doesn't know I'm on air. So I think that it just brings so much more credibility to you as a brand. And certainly again, it makes you look so much more legit.
But think about, I'm sure you all know, because I do too. I could name off the top of my head probably 24 big Instagrammers or Facebook, not Instagrammers, influencers who have had their Instagram or Facebook accounts stolen out from under them.
Right.
Could you imagine if that was your business? Could you imagine if that was the only way you had to communicate with your customer? Don't give all your goodies away to something you don't own.
Right.
I mean, the internet could go down for the rest of our lives forever, but Facebook and YouTube are owned by someone else.
Andre made a great point saying that he uses his desktop. So again, pick a platform that goes well with what you're using. Because Instagram is not a great one if you use your computer. So you'll want to pick another platform that you can work with if you are not a big iPhone user or like smartphone user. So yeah, make sure when you're doing it, pay attention to what you're using as your main tool.
Good point.
So here's the other one. For a while there, it seemed like you needed to hit the big 3 or the big 4. You needed to have, like, potentially, like, you had to Facebook, you had to have Instagram, you probably should have had Twitter, even though that's not I don't know. I don't use Twitter much. I said, Beth, I think at one point I heard you say you hate Twitter.
Yeah, I hate Twitter.
Not
right.
I don't see the gain in Twitter for me personally. But now there's TikTok. There's so many others. And one thing I got from the last Creativation, people have here saying, is like, pick 2 to 3. Don't try and do every single thing out there, because there's just not enough hours in the day. You can't be an expert at everything.
Go where you think your customers are. My customers, I don't believe my customers are on TikTok. They might be, but I don't think so. But I know they're on Facebook and I know they're on Instagram.
Right.
They're definitely not on Twitter. Well, Twitter is such a word-based thing, and it seems like our industry is visual. So that's why I'm I don't want to tweet.
And Erin made a great point, and it made me think, the jack of all trade, people who, even in their own art, who try and cover too broad of a spectrum. If you feel you're not being seen, it's maybe because you haven't perfected anything. A jack of all trades, I come from construction. They are some of the lower paid people, not because they're not good. it's because they're not expert at any one thing. And so
Mhm.
someone who does a fabulous wall mural can make 10 times the amount that a jack of all trades can just by patching the wall and moving on. So make sure you know if you want to make a lot of little money or if you want to make bigger, good money, like with a little bit less effort and a little bit more polish refinement in your business.
Mhm.
Good deal.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm at a conundrum here because I'm not on my computer and internet has come back up and not come back up. I'm on my phone and I have no way to type out names. So I'm going to ask you ladies, do you think it's okay if I just do winner's announcement after the fact, or is it okay if I just say it verbally and hopefully you can understand me who the winners are?
You can say it because it's
I think you
clear,
can just
and
say
then
it.
type it in after.
I'll go back in after and I'll type all of it on both Facebook and on YouTube. So if you're watching from somebody else's stream on Facebook, because we've all shared it out, or you guys have all shared it out, which is fabulous, go back to Erin Reed Makes because I'll be typing it in the information section of that. So then make sure you check that out. So we have some winners, but I want to get a few more people a chance to get in there. So we're going to have one more little questionnaire that we're going to ask. But the winners, let's see if I can get my banner. I'm on my phone. I've never used this on my phone. So hopefully I can get this to function. I just want to show off all the amazing, it's actually working. This is cool. I'm always on my computer. I'm not a phone person. So here are the amazing sponsors. We have Emerald Creek Ranger, Kingston Crafts, Card Maker Success Summit, Dare to be Artsy, and iCrafter, and Erin Reed Makes. So if you would like to have a chance to win, we're going to pick some live winners and we're also going to pick some after the fact. Leave a comment on your favorite card making technique, which is what we started the show with this particular question. And I don't even know what you guys did in the middle because I was completely out of the loop. I'm going to have to go back and watch the replay.
We completely switched to how to run a business.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Sassy. I do want to know, where are you asking the question from? Like what state or province? Or she's asked about in-person classes, and we do. I'm noticing people are starting to attempt the idea of in-person classes. Now, whether they go ahead is another thing, but if we're at least getting ready for that, that means at some point between now and 2022, somebody will have launched a good in-person event. I'm sure of it.
We're already starting small in person. They're almost like boutique events here in Maryland, and Maryland has been very serious about COVID, very serious about it. But they're starting to do very small, like 10 people, 12 people events, and they're booking in like a hot minute.
Oh yeah.
And they, they require that everyone has their vaccination and but it's coming.
Yeah.
And people are excited about it, which makes me excited, and I know makes Wendy excited.
If you're in the Kansas City area, come see us. We're hosting some classes.
Cassie says she's in the UK, so I'm going to give a plug out to Creative Industries. Creative Industries organization, maybe it is. Anyway, Craig, he's in connection with a bunch of people, so go follow him. I'll go and try and tag you and link you over to him, because he is out of the UK and he runs an industry association, so that might help you know what's happening in your area. But I know the UK is ahead of where we are, so good on ya. Canada's a little bit far behind.
Keep chatting. I'm still picking winners. Keep going.
Oh, she's still picking winners.
I'm scrolling through to see if there's any last minute questions.
Where's Beth the Queen's ink?
She's doing classes there. I've seen them. I'm like, yep. She's doing small classes at Queen's Ink. Brand new store, beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Wendy, hang on, which Wendy was it? I saw your thing pop up there. Wendy, you said something about you love collecting craft supplies. I love to hear that, but I would also love to hear that you use the craft supplies. So tell us that you're using the ones you're getting and that you don't have your own beautiful studio store. Put that comment.
Is that wrong? Is it wrong to have your own studio store?
Cassie's sorry, I read the wrong person who said the UK. Cassie's in the USA. Cassie Lynch. So Maryland.
Oh, Cassie Lynch. Awesome.
Sounds like a place.
Sherry just asked that she had come to our store. We are open to the public Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the second Saturday of every month. But I basically live here, so all the time. So if you're ever in the Kansas City Overland Park area, more than likely I'm here and you can just stop by. So yeah.
I live in Okotoks. You can't come into my studio because I have kids, so I have nobody come on my property ever right now. Because they go to school, which means they have a like 600 pool that they're touching. I don't want to pass it around.
I think I got it. I think I got them all. Sorry, I had it all organized and things were in there, and then I dropped my internet and I was just a mess. So thank you guys for bearing with me, and thank you for all who are watching for dealing with my crazy internet crap. So we have some winners, and you guys saw who the amazing people are. If you are watching after the fact and watching the replay, and yes, there were some questions. Is this going to be on the replay? Yes, it'll live on YouTube and live on Facebook indefinitely, and hopefully the platforms do not go down. So yay! So make sure you watch it after the fact, and if you leave a comment of what your favorite card making technique is, because this is all about card making, even though we've taken a diverted tangent onto this, which is great because I love that you guys are answering questions and asking questions to everybody. So our winners, without further ado, and I don't have a way to type this in without making my phone look like a jittery mess because I can't use my other fun things because my internet's down. Email me at Erin Reed Makes, which is the name of the channel. You see it right underneath my head, right there, erinreedmakes@gmail.com. And just state which prize you said. I have it written down, but just state which prize. And I will pass the information on to the amazing people who have donated the prize. And I will be announcing the winners on Sunday on both these channels for the people who answered after the fact. And there's just as many prizes, so make sure you come back for that. All right, so the Ranger prize, which has been donated by Wendy, yay! So, and by Ranger, and Wendy's is Procrastus Stamper. I love that name. I thought that was absolutely the best name out there for a card maker person. That is great. So, congratulations, Procrastus Stamper. Make sure you email me. We've got Lisa Townsend. She's one that Stamps Me Some Love. Yay! We've got Kim Sir, and she has won Erin Reed Bakes. You go win a prize from me. Yay!
Yay, Kim.
We have Terry Mathis, and you have won the Dare to Be Artsy. Yay! Deb Smith has won Kingston Art. And Rox Bryce has won Emerald Creek. So congratulations, everybody who's watched. Good. There's still a chance to win, so leave a comment. And I'm going to round this out because we've been on for a wonderful amount of time. I felt like it has just flowed beautifully. But I would like to give every single person on the panel a chance to do a shout out about anything upcoming, events, things that you want to. This is your plug chance, ladies. Go in, plug, where can we find you? What fun things are coming up? If you want to give us any sneaky tidbits of things that are down the line. And we are going to start with, does anybody want to volunteer as first, or should we just go down the line? Anybody?
Just go on down.
All right, Brandi, you're up.
All right, so you can find me anywhere where it's Stamp Me Some Love, whether that's stampmesomelove.com, YouTube, Facebook. It's all the same handle. And the only thing that I really want to talk about, and I think I mentioned it maybe a couple times, is the Card Maker Success Summit that's coming up July 15th through the 18th. And actually, Erin is going to be speaking on that in that summit. So really excited about that. Just go to Card Maker Success Summit, and you will see a coming soon page and sign up for the wait list so you get notified as soon as tickets are available. It's going to be a free event, 4 days, some 20 to 30 awesome card makers, and we are going to rock our holiday Christmas project. We're going to get ready for all of those Christmas holiday cards.
And before I forget, everybody's links to all these amazing ladies on this panel are down in the information section. So if you want to check out, I've got whatever links they sent to me is what I put up there. And also links to all of our sponsors are down there as well. All right, Beth, plug away.
You can find me at the Kingston home pretty much everywhere, and Kingston Crafts also pretty much everywhere. Because I love a bargain, I will tell you this. My chipboard bundles and my card making kit are actually on sale on hsn.com right now for ridiculously low prices. So if you go to HSN, just type in Kingston Crafts, all my product will pop up, and look for the stuff that's on sale because I like a bargain.
I think we all love bargains. They're great. And how often are you on HSN? Like, how often do
Every
we see
day
you
of my
there?
life. I think the next time on is May 4th.
May 4th. Okay, so that's a plug. You got to tell that people come see you. And are
I'm
you
the worst
doing?
I'm the worst self-marketer in the history of marketing, honestly.
Is it for Kingston Crafts that you're on for May 4th?
Kingston Crafts, Diamond Press, probably Zyron. I don't know. Somebody.
One of those.
Somebody will let me be on TV. It'll be fine.
All right, Lynda, what you got going on?
Okay, so you can find me at i-crafter.com. We're online there. That's where our store is. We're also on Facebook fan club. We're all the social media places. But I do want to say that we launch new product every month. So the beginning of each month. So there's something new and different every single month. Also, we're donating a prize too. We didn't say this, but we're donating a prize too. But it's going to be open to everybody afterwards too, as well. So if you leave a comment, if you're catching this at a later date, leave a comment because there's also a prize there, and Erin will be sweet enough to let us know about that or announce that. So again, we do dies and stamps, so you can see totally different things every single month. Crazy scheduling of getting everything out there, but that's where I am. tied to a drafting or tied to a computer and working away. So.
I feel like I'm tethered to a computer a lot. Well, right now it's my phone, but I feel you.
Yeah.
I think we all can understand that concept of being tethered to their phone or computer. Okay, awesome. And you are going to be coming on my show in a couple of months, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to be on the Erin Makes With show with iCrafter.
Yes. So excited.
Awesome.
That's so exciting. Yes.
It's going to be lots of fun. All right, Cindy, what you got going on?
So tomorrow we are on the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo event. Is that my phone? Is that my? I'm hearing.
No, it was probably me because I just had to move my mic. I'm sorry.
Anyway, Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. We're going to be on there tomorrow, and I think we're about 1 o'clock Central Time. And there is a discount code on that if you watch that tomorrow. And then every Monday night at 7:30 Central Time, I do a Facebook Live. This coming Monday, my friend Tracy Weinzeffel, who's a great mixed media artist, really funny, she does once a month. And so I think she is this coming Monday. I usually remember what I'm doing the day of, like, oh yeah, that's today. But, and then, so we're on all the social media, check the spelling, dare to be artsy with a Z. Come see us. And we're all about stamp size. Oh, one thing that's kind of cool, our dies that match our stamps also cut a lot of the images out of the scrapbook paper that it coordinates with. So if you're a scrapbooker or a card maker, kind of a fun combination there. So come see us.
Very cool. I love that your stamps and papers and dies all go together. I just think that's like one of the best things in the world. So it's my favorite thing because sometimes I'm a complete, I don't want to spend the time to stamp, color, die cut. So you've solved that problem for me, which is fabulous.
Erin just did a great demo just this week, just on her Wednesday card making. So check that out. So.
It was fun. I loved it. All right, Wendy, what you got going on?
Okay, what do I have? I do Tip Tuesday on Instagram, and that's been really, really popular. So like I said, my videos are all under 10 minutes, and I try to do things that are just like, aha, I thought about this, I figured this out. And people seem to really like that, so that's been really fun. The other thing I'd like is to invite you guys to join our Facebook group. It's called Ink, Stamp, and Make Art with Wendy Vecchi. We have the best group of people there. So obviously it focuses on my products, but it's people are now sharing cards that they make using my products, but it's so cool to see my stuff done by other people. So I just think there's tons of inspiration. People are so nice. They comment on your work. It's just really, really a great group. So come join us.
Yay. I think I can speak for everybody when we see you guys commenting on any of our social media, whether it be Instagram or our Facebooks or, wherever that you're happy to leave a comment, it is genuinely appreciated.
we put as much love into creating the projects that we do that when you guys take the time to leave a comment, leave a thumbs up, leave a heart, every one of those goes right, at least for me, and I'm probably, hopefully, they probably speak for everybody here. It means a ton to us. You know, it's kind of like a hug that we're getting virtually is how I take it.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, everybody. All right, Kim, what you got going on?
Before I tell mine, Cindy, will you please tell the people what the Kansas City store is called, because they're asking over and over again. What is your store?
Oh, it's just Dare to Be Artsy.
There you go. Dare to Be Artsy is actually the storefront name.
Yeah, and it's my studio, so it's where I design in our warehouse, and the front is a retail space. So it's in Overland Park, 169th and Metcalf kind of area. So South Overland Park.
I saw it keep coming up all of a sudden. So Gloria, you're going to want to hear this part, I think. So what we have going on is I like to do things differently. For starters, the box that I showed, the winners are getting ones filled with Emerald Creek stuff. But right now we're doing a clean house thing because apparently I have collected so much stuff. I found a case from when I was doing trade shows of the Tim Holtz core papers. So, you know, the ones that are discontinued, you can't get them anymore. I found a case of them, and I'm not putting it up on the site, and I don't want all the headache of trying to sell it. So we've just made all these boxes that are on right now. They're $35. No, I'm in Canadian, and most of you are American. They're $28 and $60 for these boxes that are over $45 and over $85, probably closer to like $100. I'm just clearing stuff out. So that's what I've got going on today. I make watercolors, which are being featured by Ann Butler this weekend. She has a line of shimmer watercolors that you heat set. And that means you can layer them over and over and keep the colors true. I did see that Peg was in here, and she has done some fabulous work where she shows you how the white can go over top of another watercolor when you heat set it, and it stays white. It doesn't become a muted other color. So all these, and they all are shimmery. They're not standard. And then I have an aromatherapy line of infused. Those ones they're based on aromatherapy. So while you're working on your art, you'll just be inspired by the aromas of coffee for brewed mornings, lemongrass for your green, just really fun stuff like that. So I've got that going on. And next week we're doing an artist charity auction. I had hired some artists to do some works for me last year, right before COVID, and their pieces were being displayed and on our blog. 50% of the proceeds next week go to the artist who did them. They've all been paid for by me as well. So whatever you're putting in, 50% will go to the artist. 50% is going to a charity of their choice. None of it is going to me. This is purely to help some other people because I always believe in paying it forward. So artists need to eat more than paste, and charities need to be able to keep their doors open right now. So that's what we have happening next weekend, the 24th and 25th, or I think it was. I can't remember what the days are now. That's so bad. So that's what we've got a lot. And you'll find me on Instagram. YouTube is where all of my videos go back. And if you want to recap things, I also have made a list in my YouTube so people can see the interviews or they can see the class techniques and specialize on the designers that we work with. So, and Facebook is obviously where I do most of my live because that's where I'm most comfortable.
Oh, do we lose Erin again?
No, I'm
Oh,
trying
no.
to switch. My internet just came back on.
Thanks, Kate.
I don't know if it's worth it or not to do it at this point, but at least I can monitor what's happening. And I look totally fuzzy on my end. So I'm trying to switch back over and get myself in. I don't know if I can't. There we go.
Stephanie, go check out my Facebook page, Emerald Creek CS. And all of this is in there regularly. So it'll have links to everything that I've just talked about. And I will come tag you after.
Sorry, I feel like the biggest nerd right now because I am like hating the fact I was on my phone and my internet came back on and I'm like, yes.
It's all good. It's all good.
I am so much more tethered to my computer than my phone. It's not even funny. So if you missed who the winners were on this particular show, please make sure that you check out. If you didn't catch it, you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't see your name. It was scrolling too fast on my little tiny phone over here. I will be announcing all the winners. Sorry if that's really loud somewhere. I'll be announcing all the winners on the post after the fact. I'll rewrite them in there. So just to do a little tiny plug for myself, if I can, I have a Card Making Wednesday live every Wednesday on YouTube and Facebook. I also do a Erin Makes With most Fridays at noon Central. The Card Making is at 5 Central. The Erin Makes With is at noon Central most Fridays. I have to take next Friday off because I'm getting my second shot. Yay, which is awesome. So I'm taking the entire weekend off because I don't know how I'm going to feel. Hopefully it'll not completely knock my socks off, but there we go. And then I'll be back with some amazing companies. And I know Lynda's coming, and we've got Cindy coming with Dare to Be Artsy, and Emerald Creek is coming. And we have lots of amazing companies coming down the line for that particular show. And this show, The Crafters View, comes back every month with a different topic. Even though we might start with one topic, it might blend into another, which is totally cool. So I can hear myself back in here, so I have to take my headphones out. Very weird. So anything else that we would like to say before we round this out?
Just a quick
on this, Erin.
I do want to say thank you to everyone who jumped in there and asked so many questions, because it is live and we want you to participate the best that we can in these virtual events. So thanks everyone for being a part of what makes this a fun group.
And thank you, Erin, for coming up with this idea and hosting it and giving us all the opportunities.
Yeah. Love it.
Sorry about my crazy internet. But I'm glad you guys carried on. That was fantastic. Well, I really want to tell me to take this out because I can't hear myself. So really, truly, thank you everybody who's joined us. Please check out all these amazing ladies and all their wonderful companies. Links to all of their companies are down in the information section if you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook. They are down there, along with all the wonderful sponsors, of which these ladies either own or work with or are a part of, which has been absolutely wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Please go follow them. Go like them. They are awesome. I'd appreciate if you also follow and like me. That would be fantastic. Share this out and make sure you come back on Sunday to see if you're a winner at the other video or the replay to see if you left a comment on what is your favorite card making technique. And I truly appreciate all of you for being here. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye. It was fun.